What's going on, guys? Brother the Alchemist here, helping you make as much money as possible while curating the day's news and going over technical analysis. Here, just smoking a cigar in my smoke room, aka the bathroom. Thank you, Eric, for the cigar. It was my birthday, just passed. Getting wiser, not older. So, I just want to have another one of these just talks. Let's talk about what I see going on. Not financial advice. I implore you to do your own research and don't just get into something because someone else is doing it. With that said, let's start off with lumber. Now, I was following some gentleman's YouTube channel about last March when hell broke loose, right? And he was saying what he was seeing with commodities, with lumber in particular. And now, lo and behold, if you take a look, if you Google a lumber chart, you see what's going on, shooting up through the roof. Just showing where real value being held is growing at an almost exponential rate. It's going bonkers. How in the world, I have a friend who's building a home, how are you guys doing it with these lumber prices? Hopefully you got in while the price was relatively cheap, but it's insane. These new houses, I would check twice on the quality of them and the type of wood that's being used if you are getting a good deal. Personally, I would look at kind of older houses built in the 2000s just to maintain that sturdiness. But that's neither here nor there. That's another conversation. So, lumber, that's just one of the alarms that should be ringing and causing you to ask yourself, what is happening? Have you seen meat prices? Milk. Now, gas has been going up a little bit. Everything is apparently getting more expensive. At the same time, money is losing its value. And, you know, a lot of people don't understand how money works. It's not real. It's being printed out of thin air. And what happens when, and excuse me if you've heard this talk already before, but I think it's worth mentioning again. And I'm going to continue to mention a lot of just principles and things that I think are important because more new people and more are starting to follow me and need to hear this. It's not that things are getting more expensive, is that the value that your dollar, your fiat is holding is getting weaker and weaker. And so in order to compensate that loss of value, someone who is selling you something is not going to ask for the same price that they were asking for before. If me as a creator of a goods, sees that the things that I'm buying in order to create something is getting more expensive, I am not going to continue business unless I raise prices as well. For example, corn is going up in price. So a lot of things on the menu in restaurants are going to go up in price, or they're just gonna simply change the recipe. And that's just one example. You know, have your eyes open, be aware. It's not about panicking, it's about being prepared and making the much needed moves in order to, if not thrive, because all of this is presenting an enormous opportunity to create life-changing wealth if you know where to look and how to allocate resources and your funds. If not to create great wealth, at least to protect and preserve the money that you do have. Silver, there's talks of a silver squeeze, meaning if you haven't been living under a rock, what happened with GameStop and AMC, there's murmurs that the same thing is happening with silver, because these large institutions have been known and are currently not just manipulating silver and gold and other commodities like it, but in particular silver and gold. They're shorting it. And this is something that a lot of people who participated in the Wall Street bets thing, they're taking notice of it. They're taking note of it. And I'm not saying when, but eventually, it's not the question of if, it's a question of when. Silver is going to shoot up. Silver is needed to create electric vehicles, EVs. Silver is needed in a lot of computers and just across many industries. And the more and more that we move forward, the more that technology is going to be producing these machines that need silver and other metals like nickel, copper. So I've been into silver for way over a year, and I've also gotten into copper. My copper stocks are doing well, silver stocks doing well. I have, more than that, I have physical silver, physical copper, and it's sort of like SHTF situation presenting itself. I know that I have enough to be okay. And I suggest you look into it, understand it. Don't just do something without understanding it. The best investor in the world, arguably, is Warren Buffett, and he never got into an investment without fully understanding it. And I mean, you don't have to understand it inside and outside. Like, we don't understand how electricity works for the most part. We're not electricians, but we know that if we flip the switch, it goes on. If we flip the switch, it goes down. That's as much as we need to know for me to say electricity is important, and I know how it works, and I'm going to use it because I gained something from it. Talking crypto, the Bitcoin dominance, meaning the amount of money, the market cap, the amount of money that has been flooding into Bitcoin, is decreasing compared to alternative coins such as Ethereum, Cardano, and the list goes on and on. There is going to be an altcoin tsunami. I own very little Bitcoin now, and I have sold just about most of my Ethereum as I see that it's getting toppish. And a lot of people will say, I am a fool for selling Ethereum. Can it go higher? Yes, it can go higher. But I've been in Ethereum since about $300, $350. And the return, if you could divide the current price, about 3,300 by 350, you see the phenomenal rate of growth I've seen. And so it's getting more and more risky for me to just stay in that asset. Not only that, but how much Ethereum do I need to hold, and how much in dollars do I need to hold, and how much more can it possibly grow? I do believe that Ethereum will eventually hit 10,000, maybe even more. So that would be a what, 3-4x from this level. But if you are smart and you understand what's going on, the smaller coins are going to do what Ethereum did just now. And if you're not a baller like I am, right, because I wasn't born into money, you will think to yourself, if I want to change my life, although I highly believe Ethereum is very, very valuable, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade into these other coins that could do a 10, say 5x, 10x, maybe 100 or 1000x if you move into the smaller market caps, which are way more risky. But I will put a certain percentage, maybe 1, 2, if I believe in something, maybe 5%, but I'm not going to risk getting wrecked and go all in on something because I think I'm going to become a billionaire tomorrow. That's not a wise, rational decision. And this whole Dogecoin thing, you see it's retracing right now. Now's not the time to get in to Dogecoin. The people that got in at 10 cents, 7 cents, that was the time to get in. And, you know, before the mania hits, it may be time to now start scaling out. You could call me an idiot, but the fact of the matter is that there are coins out there that will make you just as much money as Dogecoin and have way more utility, has way more utility. And that's that. You know, I'm not gonna go back and forth. I'm not here to argue. That's just how I see it. If you don't see it that way, honestly, I do wish that you make as much money as possible. That's not what we're here for. I'm not here to wish bad on others because they don't align with my investing and trading outlook. Everybody has different goals. Everybody has different financial situations. You have to do what works for you in your particular situation. Should a billionaire or a millionaire or a 100,000-aire be taking advice from me? No. This isn't necessarily advice anyway. But should they be using my system, my way of growing wealth? No, not necessarily. Maybe they just want to get into Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're trying to preserve their wealth and they're already in a great state of financial being. And if they could double their money, triple their money, quadruple their money, perfect. They'll be very happy with that. And then maybe they'll take 1% and put it into alts, 5%, but they're in a different situation. Pardon me. So, just because something works for somebody else does not necessarily mean that it works for you and your situation. So, always take people's advice with a grain of salt and how it applies to your particular situation. Now, things that I'm very bullish and I'm looking at, Matic, Dash, FTX, Chiliz, Engine Coin, Digibyte, Zero Swap. And there's a long list of other coins that you would consider crap coins, right? Such as Sibcoin, what else? Siren token, you know, these other coins that have been just laying flat and people have been disgusted because it was a massive dip and it's just been kind of oscillating at the bottom. Those type of coins can possibly have explosive growth. Enough. And, you know, so I may allot 1% here and there into these coins that really may not even have that much utility, much like Doge, but is going to have explosive growth. The reason why I stay out of Doge is because it's something that the mainstream is in, and you have to understand the people as a whole have a lot of power to pump assets, but there's going to come a time where greed kicks in and the house of cards is going to come tumbling once people say, all right, I'm out, I just made 100x my money, and they pull it and it all comes crashing down. So you have to be aware of that as much potential as there is to make a lot of money, if you don't have a predefined exit strategy on when it's good enough, and you could maybe leave some on the table to let it ride, just in case. But nobody ever went broke by taking profits. I'll say it again. Bears make money, bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered because pigs are greedy. They just want to consume. And that's a saying in investing that holds very true. So what if I know, damn, I missed out on Ethereum, it went down, it went up to 4,000. There's another opportunity right around the corner that I could hop into. Say for example, a coin that I'm very bullish on right now is Litecoin, that I'm putting some of my earnings from Ethereum into. Because when Litecoin goes parabolic and I buy a couple of Litecoins that are currently priced at about $300, using my earnings from Ethereum that went up to 3,300, I think, how many Litecoins can I get? And if Litecoin goes over to 1,000, I've pretty much tripled my money. And if I wish, I could get into Ethereum again. Because more than likely, Ethereum will not be growing at the rate that these smaller alts will be rocketing at. So, in essence, it's not that I have disdain for these other great projects like Ethereum. It's that as a wise trader, I see opportunity, I'm going to take it, looking at the charts, reading what it's telling me, not being emotional, getting into other things, and then I could profit even more. You know, you don't marry these coins, you don't hate them, you don't date them, you trade them. And again, this is for someone who's really trying to explode the amount of money that they have upwards. For somebody who is very comfortable, someone who is retired, someone who has their home paid for, I would not suggest you refinance your home and go all in on one coin and, lose what you've worked so hard for. Would I suggest a family or friend to maybe take 2%, 5% of their entire portfolio and put it into this crypto space? Yeah, I would highly suggest that. I have told family members, loved ones, that this stock market is going to come crashing down eventually. So be aware of what is going on and understand why right now the stock market is shooting up. It's because commodities, things of goods, are being pumped up by inflation, by these corporations who are buying into their own stock in order to keep their machine working, because the economy is not doing as great as many would have you believe. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up in a little bit. I just want to finish off some thoughts, and then I'm going to head over to the charts to show you some things there. Let's continue this conversation on the charts, all right? Let's keep this video under 20 minutes. I have links, if you're new to crypto, many links that would benefit you and would help support my channel. I have merchandise for sale, and please like, share, and subscribe with someone who you care about. I'm not in this for money from you. I just want to get exposure and have
people understand what's going on.
Peace.